Ashley. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Okay, so let's get into this video. Today we're gonna be doing like a chit chat, girls talk type of vibe. I asked y'all on Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram, my name on Instagram is Ashley's Elite Extensions. I'm gonna put it on the screen. But I asked y'all on Instagram, what topics do you want me to cover on like a sit down video? Because I feel like, you know, I can't just keep doing vlogs all the time. Like y'all need to get to know me in a different light. So let's see how this goes. So I got my wine. We finna sip. If you don't have wine, it's cool. Just sit back, relax, and let's have a talk. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. One of the first questions I got was about an apartment tour. Now this question, I did ask Instagram like twice. I asked y'all twice. Once before I moved, and then again after I moved. And basically, since I moved, my apartment isn't just like ready yet completely to have like a full-on apartment tour, but please believe me, it will come when I'm done. I just have to like do some finishing touches. I have a lot of more like redecorating to do. I feel like I'm in this new era of just needing to like update stuff and add on new decorations, new decor. So as soon as I'm done with that, I promise I will give as much of a tour as I can. But I did, on my moving vlog, I did give a tour before I moved everything in of just how the apartment looks, you know, prior to me moving all my stuff in. But I know y'all want like an updated version with, you know, all the decorations and stuff. So that's coming. I don't know when, but when I finish, I got y'all, okay? The next thing, someone asked me, how do I stay motivated in the gym? So honestly, I just started my gym journey this year. So like, I shouldn't even be drinking this right now, talking about motivated in the gym, but I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm not just like 100% motivated. I would love to be, and I would love to. I still try to go 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Some days I miss, and at some points, like when I was traveling earlier this year, I missed like 2 weeks at a time. And you know, I've probably missed 2 weeks at a time, 2 or 3 times by now. So it hasn't been like a consistent journey like I would love for it to be. But what keeps me motivated, girl? This stomach. When I look in the mirror, I'm not happy with where my body is, and I get tired of not being able to wear what I want to, or like now covering up because I don't like the way it looks. When I look in the mirror and I'm like, I really gotta lose this stomach. So that's what makes me want to go to the gym. Honestly, is I want my body to look better. I feel like I'm in my 20s. You know, your body should be looking good. I be seeing the girls in their 2-piece bikinis, and I'm just like, oh, bruh. I wish I could do that. I have to put on a 1-piece because it's not giving. It's not eating the way it's supposed to. So that's what really keeps me motivated. That, and also the mental aspect of it. Like mentally, if I go too long, like the 2-week breaks I just talked about, if I go too long without being in the gym, mentally I start to feel it. And it's like, it feels good. It feels like an accomplishment when you go to the gym and you're able to like really enjoy, like you feel good after it. Like it's a mental thing too. It's not just physical. Mentally, you feel better throughout your day. Like you feel like you really accomplished something. You sweated it out, and you just feel good. Like you feel good. So I don't push myself too hard. I have like a couple of different workout routines that I do that I've cultivated over the months that I feel like is, you know, targeting the areas that I want to hit, and also not too much on myself. So when I go to the gym, I do maybe 30 to 45 minutes. I don't really overwork myself. I don't push myself too hard because I know that being in the gym is not like a passion of mine. So I don't want to make myself tired of it. So I have to like try to also mix in different things. So like instead of doing the gym 5 days a week, as y'all saw in some of my past vlogs, I started getting into Pilates, yoga, like stuff like that, just to mix it in throughout the week. So maybe you do gym on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays you do Pilates and yoga, or you know, like whatever you want to do to mix it in so you won't get so tired of it. If you're like me, because me personally, I'm not really a gym girl, but I do enjoy it when I feel like it. So if you're struggling to go, you know, just go at your own pace. My advice personally, because that's what I do, I go at my own pace. I try to cut back on the fatty foods, so I eat healthier during the week, and then on the weekends, that's when I eat what I want to, like your cheat days. That's what I use my cheat days is the weekends. So that helps me too, because just quitting eating when I love cold turkey. I'm a soul food girl. I love all of that. And just quitting it cold turkey is something that I'm not interested in. I still want to eat what I want to eat when I want to eat it, but within moderation. So that's why I pick 2 days out the week. Then the other 5 I'll eat like my salmon, my baked chicken, my vegetables, my rice, stuff like that. So hopefully that helps. That's what helps me on my journey. And also, I don't really check the scale like that because I don't want to get too wrapped up in the numbers, and it will take even more of the enjoyment out for me, because yes, I would love to see results faster, but looking at the scale every day would really like probably put my mental in a whole different place that I'm not really interested in being in. I just want to keep going, and when it drops, it drops. Like, I'm not rushing it, I'm not on a time schedule, and I'm not pushing myself too much or too hard to the point where I'm just gonna be like, forget it. Because like I said, I've never really been the girl who wants to go to the gym like that. So I'm just taking things at my own pace and staying motivated by looking in the mirror and taking accountability. Like, girl, you have had this stomach since you have had your son. Your son is about to be 6 this year. Come on now, that's too long to be sitting around with a gut. Okay, it's time to get it together, because you're gonna look back at your 20s and be like, dang, I was supposed to be half naked on the beach. You know what I'm saying? Really serving looks. So, yeah. All right, so next on the list of questions, we have, what keeps you going when you're feeling down? That's a really good one. So, what keeps me going when I'm feeling down, honestly, is God. There's no other answer. There's no other way around it. Like, there's nothing else that can fulfill me and make me at peace, make me feel joy like God can. No, there's no other answer. There's no escape. There's no other, there's no other answer. God is the answer. That's what keeps me going. If I ever wake up, because I used to really, I'm gonna be very transparent right now. I used to be really in a dark place. Just this time last year, like, I look at my memories on like Facebook and TikTok and Instagram, and I'm just like, wow, that girl was in such a dark place. I was in such a dark place. I was so depressed constantly, and I tried to cope with it by getting drunk all the time. I'm just being real. I used to drink a lot, and I tried to escape by like getting high and stuff like that, because that's what I was used to doing as a teenager coming up. Like, yeah, it's fun, turn up, yeah, and then I'd be, escaping like that. But girl, I was still, of course, I was believing in God and stuff, and I would tell people to talk to God and stuff. But the whole time, I wasn't even really doing it myself as much as I should have been, and I just fell further and further away from Him. So, when my grandfather passed, my grandfather was my best friend, and he was my best friend. He was, how like you have that one person in your life where it's like, I could not imagine losing you. I could not imagine life without you. I don't even want to think about it. Like, when the thought enters my head, bloop, block it back out, because I don't want to think about that. Like, he was that person for me. I grew up in his house. Like, I called him. We talked about anything. He gave me advice all the time, and he's really who brought me up in God and taught me so much about God. Any chance he got, he'll be like, he was always reading the Bible in silence. He'll always be reading the Bible around the house, and like after grandma passed, I noticed it even more because I was getting older, and he would always stop me and be like, hey, let me read you the scripture right quick. Like, hey, let me tell you this. The Bible says this and says that. And it's just like, it was just, looking back on it, it was just so beautiful. I was so grateful that he brought me up in it. So I was always in God. You know what I'm saying? I always had him in my life. I was always protected and guarded by prayers. And I did what I thought was enough up until I lost him. And when I lost him, I fell in a very, very dark place. And so moving forward from that, I didn't like how dark it was. I didn't like how dark it got. Like, I remember hearing God telling me, like, just talk to me. I'm here, just talk to me. And I would literally be like in my head, like, nope, I would rather just be sad. I would rather just feel this sadness, sit in this depression and drink. And that's what I was doing. It was like, I was claiming depression over my life. I was constantly sad, and the devil took that and ran with it. He was like, oh, we got her. She's denying God. She wants to be depressed. Cool. Let's show her what we about over here on this depression side, on this really sad and down side. So once he showed me a glimpse of that, I was like, oh no. I cannot. This ain't for me. You know what I'm saying? So it drew me closer to God, because I'm like, I'm literally running from the devil at this point. Like, I never agreed that I wanted to be a part of this, but the power of life and death is in the tongue. So what you say will, come to pass. So I had to watch myself saying I'm depressed, or, I'm so sad. Like, it's okay to feel sad, but to just constantly claim it and try to do nothing about it is where I was starting to feel it. So God came in, I was like, I need to get closer to God, because I don't like what I'm seeing, the darker and the further away I'm getting from him. And so throughout that journey, that's what really helped me, like, start going to God more for everything. So I told God that I want him to take charge of my life, take control of my life. I'm giving my life to you. I want to live with you. I cannot live without you. Like, so with that, over time, I got back in church in January. My grandfather passed the week of Thanksgiving last year in 2022. By January 2023, I was in church. Like, I couldn't stay down like that for long. I got in church, and I haven't stopped going to church since. Even if I miss a Sunday, I'm gonna watch a sermon on the phone. Like, I'm not missing a Sunday of church. I'm not. So that's what keeps me going, is God. Like, once you build that relationship with God and you get that foundation with God, it's like the peace that he brings when you bring a problem to him. It's just like talking to a best friend, talking to a friend. Literally, talk to God. Tell him, like, you don't have to. I mean, yes, it's nice to get on your knees and pray. It's nice to pray when you talk to him. Of course, do that too. But I go throughout the day, and I just be telling him stuff that's going on. Like, wow, God, did you see that? Thank you so much for that. Or, God, I don't know what to do. Like, if I'm feeling like anxiety is coming my way, or if I would just wake up with that feeling in my chest, y'all know that feeling I'm talking about, I would literally be like, God, I don't like the way I'm feeling right now. I don't want to feel this. Lord, please bring peace over me. I'm giving the anxiety to you. I'm giving the depression to you. I don't want to feel this. I can't take it, So that's what really ultimately helps me, is God. There's no other answer. Like, yeah, okay, sip some wine for enjoyment. Yeah, but I really don't even barely smoke anymore, because I don't want to depend on that. Like, I was getting to a point where I was depending on, oh man, I feel anxious, let me go and get me, some edibles. Let me go and do this and that so I can get rid of the anxiety. But girl, nothing helped me cope with my sadness and depression like God did. And so from that moment forward, I'm like, this is what I need on a daily basis. And so with that, I hope that answers your question. I also, just the closer I get to him, I got baptized back in April for for the first time ever. I was never baptized when I was younger. So I got baptized back in April, and I just really feel like I felt so different after that. And like now I'm starting to want to walk more like him and be more like him. And the closer I get to him and just the relationship that we have, I thank him for it every single day, because without God, I would not be where I am today. And I'm never getting that far away from him again. I'm truly grateful. I really, really am. So next question was, why did I start my YouTube channel? So I started YouTube back in February. So I haven't been on here very long, but I started it because I've been in a season of isolation. This is the first reason. I have two reasons why I started my YouTube. The first reason is because I've been in a season of isolation. So once I started, having to really be on my own, like not really having friends like that, and needed somebody to talk to, because it's rough when you go from having friends that you talk to every single day to not having any at all, or maybe like you have those friends, but y'all don't talk every day, and you talk on occasions or stuff like that, but they're still your friend. That's the season I'm in, and I've been in this season since for about 2 years now, since 2021, since like the end of 2021. So, what was the question? Oh, why I started my YouTube. But yeah, so like talking to the camera, it feels good. It feels like I'm talking, like when I'm talking to y'all, it feels like I'm talking to my friends. Y'all checking in on me, y'all watching, and it just feels like I got somebody to talk to. Of course, I got God to talk to. I talk to him first and always. I talk to other people too. My mom, I have other friends, but like it's just something different about talking to the camera, because it feels like a venting session. It feels like, okay, well, I don't have anybody to call right now, or maybe I don't feel like talking on the phone right now. I can talk to y'all. So that's the first reason. The second reason why I started my YouTube was because I started seeing, like, as I started walking with God, I started changing the stuff that I liked. So my algorithm changed, my For You page changed, and it changed more into like content creation and of course Christian and biblical things. So with that, I took that and ran with it, and I was seeing a lot of girls get on YouTube and just loving it, and I'm just like, that looks like something I would like to do, because I genuinely do enjoy creating content. Like when it comes to making content for my wigs, I love it. And then like the times where I do make videos of me just talking, like on Instagram or on my story or something, I get such a good response, and I realize the influence that I actually do have, and I feel like I could put that to good use. So that's another reason why I started my YouTube. I'm really into YouTube now. Like I love the TikTok and the short form content, but it's something about YouTube that hits different. Like it just feels more personable. It feels more like I'm in the right place doing the right thing. I could sit there and have something playing on YouTube and be going about my day instead of having to constantly switch to the next video, or constantly scroll on my phone. So YouTube just is more of my comfort app. Like it feels more like we homegirls. Like I feel like I'm on FaceTime. Like I feel like, it's my safe space. I like YouTube. I like the long form content. I like it. So it's just more my speed. I like content with substance like that, So why not create it too? So the next question was, how did I get started in wig making? This story I've told a few times before, but ultimately, all my life growing up, I have been always into hair. I would have the Bratz dolls and the Barbie dolls with the like just the head, like the big life size one. I would be curling their hair, child. I'd be putting rollers in it. I'd be, using my mama hot tools and stuff, just fixing my girl up. And then that graduated into me doing my own hair. So like I would let somebody braid my hair down and I would sew my own hair in. Okay, cool. And then that graduated into me coloring my own hair. I was always practicing coloring on weave and stuff, just doing my own hair, because I've always been into saving money. If I feel like I can do it myself, I'm gonna do it myself. So that's what I was doing, like doing it myself. So like eventually I started doing my own wigs. Like I was on my own sewers, I was doing my own wigs. When wigs started getting popular around like 2015, 2016, I started making my own wigs. I started hand stitching. I was like, I'm really good at this. So fast forward, when I started my job, I had a job at the Westin Hotel in downtown Jackson. I was working in the restaurant Estelle. And it was the most money I had ever made at a job, I will say. But I was only making enough to like pay my bills, because as soon as I started that job, a month later I got in my first apartment. And so it was only enough to like really just pay my bills that I was making. I'm like, I cannot live check to check. I need extra money. I have a son, I have responsibilities. I'm not gonna just be paying my rent and broke for the rest of the month. So that's what I was like, it has to be a side hustle I can start. So a few months later, I started that job in May, I think of April or May of 2019. And by September, October 2019, I started that business because I'm like, I cannot stay stagnant in my finances. I need more. I need to elevate. I have responsibilities. I got big girl bills. I got stuff I need to do. So I started it, and what happened, what made it such a hit, well, I know before I started my business, I made like a couple of girls' wigs before, so I saw that I could do it and that they actually liked it. So once I started my business, I was like, okay. I ended up having a sale just to get my name out there. And I was like, okay, let's do, I'll make your wig, hand stitch it, I'll make your wig and customize the color, whatever, for $50. So I was on $50 wig construction, and it took off. It blew up in my city, and the girls they really liked it, so it helped get my name out there. And then after that, I made a post, because it was like a trend at one point in time to like make a post and be like, hey, my name is so and so, I do this and that, this is how old I am, and I'm in this city. Please like, share, comment, and my next customer could be on your timeline, basically, type of post. And so I did that, and it blew up. It blew up on Twitter, and it blew up on Facebook, because those are the two ones I needed on. I had like 3,000 shares on Facebook, and then on Twitter I had like hundreds of likes and shares, retweets. So I'm like, oh wow, so my work must really look good to other people. Once that took off, it just kept going from there, just kept elevating. And so in March, so the next year, COVID hit in March of 2020. I ended up quitting my job because everybody's jobs had closed, and I was so miserable there. Not only was I like burnt out from trying to make wigs and then working all those shifts, like barely having any off days, I just wasn't happy there. I wasn't happy, and don't get me wrong, overall it was a great job, but personal things that was going on, I just wasn't as happy as I could have been. And I'm like, I'm swimming in money at this point. Like, I'm making my checks every 2 weeks, and I have my wig income on top of that. So I was good, and I was like, I don't really need this job. So when it opened back up, I told them I'm not coming back, and I didn't go back. And ever since March of 2020, I have been working on my own. I have been working on wigs. So it's been 3 years, a little over 3 years now, that I have been completely solo as a full-time entrepreneur. And I love it. Like, it has its ups and downs, it has its highs and lows, but overall, having my own schedule and just being happy with where I'm at, because I first noticed my anxiety when I was trying to balance the two. When I was trying to have a job and have a side hustle, it was too much on me. And I also didn't have like a work-life balance. I had a friend at the time that was telling me like, you are so stressed out. You're so like mean at this point because you're so stressed out. You don't really have time for your son like that. And it shows that it bothers you. You need a work-life balance. So I'm like, she's right. I do need a work-life balance. And that's what really helped me, was leaving that job. I was still very overwhelmed because I was doing good. Girl, business was booming. Do you hear me? Like, I would have girls ordering, and they will order, let's say if they order today, and I'd be like, okay, well, it's gonna be ready a month from now. They'd be like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm still in that era. Sometimes it's slow, sometimes it's fast, but that's all in entrepreneurship, So like, little did I know that my side hustle would turn into my main source of income. And I thank God every day for that, because it's just like, wow, I really turned my talent and my passion into my bread and butter, like how I keep my roof over my head. You know, it's just such a blessing. And that's how I got started in making wigs, basically. The next question is friendships in my late 20s. I am 26. Friendships in your late 20s, thoughts of making new friends and maintaining them. Oh, okay. So that's a really good one. As far as friendship goes, I have been told that I'm a very, very genuine person. And this is something I already know. So it's not me bragging, it's just me saying, like, I know what I bring to the table when it comes to friendships. And I've had my fair share of backstabs because of that. And I will say that at first, when God first put me in this isolation season, I was like, I was really down about that because like I'm really big on friendships. Like I love love. I love friends. I love love. I love all of that. So it's like when that was stripped away from me and I had no choice but to focus on me, it made me realize things that I need to work on within myself and things that I need to just get to know myself again and stop, you know, idolizing friends and friendships and idolize God and focus on me. So, I would love, my thoughts are, you know, I'm still in isolation. I still have a couple of friends here and there, but like, I don't have like a friend group. I don't have friends that I hang out with every day or every week. Like I'm really solo out here. And that's fine with me because I'm used to it by now, you know, but I would love to have friends, genuine friends that's walking with Christ, you know, that we can really build like a real connection of friendship through our journey with Christ. Like I want us both to be on it when it comes to God. I don't want to unequally yoke friendship just like I don't want to unequally yoke relationship. Like I want us to both be at least walking with God. Like we don't have to be on the same level of intensity with the relationship, but as long as we're both pursuing a relationship with Him, that I know that I have a better chance of having a pure friend and I can be a pure good friend to them, you know? So I'm definitely open to making new friends. Am I traumatized from past friendships? Yes, I am. I am a little traumatized and I am a little hesitant, you know, but it's all with greater judgment. It's not me just being like, oh, I don't want no friends. Like, no, I'm definitely open to making friends. And I do feel like it's a little harder to make genuine connections. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm very empathetic. I can very much read the room. I can very much feel the vibes. And so, you know, if I don't have in my flesh, if I don't feel like it's nothing wrong with this person, I take it to God just to make sure. So I'm in the season right now where I feel like God is really working on me as far as me being a good friend to other people. Because we can say all that, we good people, we good friends, but you know, there may be certain things that we just don't see about ourselves that we need to work on so we can give our best version of ourselves to people around us. And I want to be the best version of a friend that I can be possible to anybody. And I do feel like God is going to bless me with, you know, that close friend again. Like, you know, we hang out, we talk often, you know what I'm saying? But we're both really into God. That's what I'm looking for in my life. Everything I do, I want it to be rooted in God. I want God to order my steps. So I know that if God sends me a friend, that is, you know what I'm saying? That's supposed to be that's my girl, that's my dog. Like, this is who I'm supposed to be with, you know? I do have a few friends like that, don't get me wrong, but I don't live near them. So I'm speaking on new friendships. I'm speaking on people coming my way in my new location where I'm at now. I'm open to it. I am. I really am. I want genuine, non-toxic, you know, friendships where energy is reciprocated and it's all love, you know? So my last and final question to wrap this video up, I want to ask for an update on me living in a new city and the things that I found to do. So, so far I've only been here, it just made a month yesterday. I've been here for a month now. So my update is, I was living in Canton at first, Canton, Mississippi. And all my life, really, I've been living in that area. I've been living in the Jackson, Madison, Ridgeland, Canton area all my life. I'm 26 years old. So I'm still in Mississippi. I'm in Biloxi, Mississippi. And So it's not like it's just like a big leap out of state somewhere. Um, this move was definitely curated by God. I didn't see it coming. I didn't plan for it, but I was always speaking it into existence over the past few months. Like, I helped my mom move here in March, and I was like, wow. Because at first, when I came to Biloxi, I would only be like in the beach area, so it was nothing special to me. Because if you know, you know, the water in on the Gulf Coast of Mississippi is brown for whatever reason. But once I had my mom move and I saw the area like of the actual living and like went deeper into the city and all around and stuff, I was like, wow, I like this. If I was to live anywhere else, because you know, staying in the Can, because I was really closer to Madison and Gluckstadt when I was living in Can. So staying in that area, that is the best area. The Madison Gluckstadt area is the best area in that area, like in Mississippi, other than Biloxi, the coast and stuff. So I was like, wow, if I ever had to move from over here and not live in the Madison, Gluckstadt, Canton area anymore, I would definitely move to the coast because this is nice. And so, I love it here. And I say this, you know, because it's not only is it a tourist spot, but it's just different. Like, it's a lot of different people here that's not from here. So it doesn't have that like Jackson mentality to it. Don't get me wrong. Don't take this the wrong way. I love Jackson, but I lived there my whole life, so I know and I can speak on the vibe of it. And it's a very negative cloud over it. It's fun, you know, it's cool, but I was also in a season of my life where being around the same people that I've seen my whole entire life just started to make me want to stay in the house more and stay away from them more because I just got tired of seeing it. I got tired of being around that energy. And it's just, you know, it just wasn't the nicest environment for me. I was making the best of it that I could, and I really didn't realize how much I needed this move until I got here. God knew what I needed. He knew what was going through my mind before I was moving. He saw me, you know, not waking up happy every day. Genuinely happy every day. I would wake up and try to find things to make myself happy. And so I was on the verge, like, I really haven't told many people this, but I was on the verge of giving up. Like, I was within my walk with Christ, of God, of course, and I was still, you know, happy with him in that relationship and trusting that he would lead me and guide me wherever I need to be. But I was waking up trying to find ways to make myself happy. But here, I wake up and I'm naturally happy all the time. And I didn't realize how much I needed that until God pushed me into this season. You know, I didn't see this coming when I first moved. When this year started, I didn't see me moving anytime soon. But I'm so glad I did. I love the vibe. I love how, you know, everybody here just seems to like mind their business. Ain't nobody just always staring in your face. It's a more positive vibe. People are speaking. I mean, people did that in Jackson too, don't get me wrong. But just happier. I'm just overall happier here. Like, looking around, seeing palm trees. I've always been a beach girl. I've always been a palm tree lover to my core. And like, to actually just be pushed to move somewhere like here, like, I feel like this is the perfect first step before I get to be elevated to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have to go through this before I go to the next one. And I love it here. I love it. So far though, since I've only been here for a month, I haven't really had time to find much to do. I did go out to eat a couple of times. I found a couple of good restaurants. The main thing that I have found is a lot of coffee shops. It's a lot more local coffee shops here than what I'm used to. Back when I was living in, you know, the Madison area, Starbucks was not like in that area in general, Jackson, Flowood, all of that. Starbucks is the main, you know, coffee connoisseur. You know, it's not that many local coffee houses that's there. I mean, it's a few. I tried them and they wasn't better than Starbucks, so I just stuck with Starbucks. But here, it's like a lot of them. You got some in Biloxi, you got some in Ocean Springs, you got some in D'Iberville, you got some in Gulfport, you know, like, it's everywhere. And they are really good with really good customer service. So that's what I've really been hopping around finding that I really think is so cool is coffee. I love coffee. Y'all know I love coffee. And yeah, so other than that, I feel like, you know, I'm in the right place for this season of my life, and I'm just so grateful to be here. And yeah, so I do honestly feel like where I'm at, like the coast of Mississippi, is the best part of Mississippi, and I've always really felt like that. But I just never saw myself moving here, so I settled for the second best, which was the Madison area, because Madison has been quoted to be the richest city in Mississippi. So it's like, and I can see it. It gives that, you know what I'm saying? But it's just was still too close to home, and so moving here, it's like I'm still close to home. I can still go back and visit family, you know what I'm saying? I can still go back and visit Jackson if I want to, but I'm further out. Like I'm steady pushing out. When I first moved out, I moved to Ridgeland from South Jackson. That was a little push, you know what I'm saying? And then the next move was Canton. Was a bigger push, but it's still like I'm still in the vicinity with everything that is making me claustrophobic and feel closed and boxed in. And I was gonna settle for that. I was gonna be good with that because I was thinking bigger. I was thinking like, okay, I'm gonna wait here until it's time for me to move out of state. I was thinking out of state. But then God was like, no, because you can have happiness right now, right here in your state, and not be too far from your family, still be in your comfort zone, and be so much happier. And so that's where I'm at with it right now. So this Biloxi move is the furthest I've ever stayed away from my hometown. It's 3 hours away from Jackson. And I know that my next move after this will be my best move, but I'm not even focused on that right now. I'm focused on the now. I'm grateful for it now. I'm grateful for what God is doing for me now in this season, and wherever He takes me next, I know it's exactly where I belong. And that's the comfort of having God in your life. So one thing about me, if you know me, I'm always talking about God because my life is ran by Him. I involve everything I do with God, so it just feels really good to have that connection and have that, you know, that peace and that understanding. You know, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I'm just saying I'm so glad I started this walk and this journey with God, because without Him, I would not be this positive. I've always been an optimistic person. If you know me, you know I've always been optimistic and nice and cool and sweet. I always been that, right? But you know, and the times that we live in now that's so hard and getting so dark so quick, and it's like good and evil. Like I can get into a whole, you know what I'm saying, conversation about that. But, you know, having God is so important. It's so important to your mental health. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it's important to have a therapist and all that stuff. I don't have one, but I'm open to it, you know what I'm saying? But nothing can help you cope through things like God can. The peace, the understanding, the communication, it's just so clear and it's so beautiful. God will show you beautiful things, you know what I'm saying? So that's the headspace I'm in right now. I'm just so grateful that I see the relationship with Him and everything, and I genuinely look forward to deepening my relationship with Him as time keeps going. I see myself changing by the day. So that is my girl talk, my chit chat. I appreciate y'all for asking me questions. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time out your day to watch my little old video. And y'all be blessed. Thank you. Love y'all. Talk to you later.